Welcome back. You're watching Kissimmee FYI. In today's Solutions for Your Life segment, we're taking you underwater and placing the spotlight on aquatic weeds. A very common species of weeds that is wreaking havoc on our local lakes is called Hydrilla. If you own a motorboat, you might have had a run-in or two with this weed getting entangled in your propeller. Joining me now to explain what is being done to minimize the amount of weeds in our waters is Stacia Hetrick. She is a member of the faculty specializing in aquatics at the University of Florida Extension Services Office. Hello, Stacia. Welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
So what are aquatic weeds for people who aren't one with nature and haven't really been out to see them?
Well, a lot of people call them water weeds. It's basically vegetation that lives in the water, so either floating on the water or underneath the water in the case of Hydrilla, which is one of our most common aquatic weeds. And being a weed, this is a plant that's growing somewhere where we don't want it to be. It's an undesirable species. A lot of our weeds in Osceola County, what we consider the weeds to be in our lakes, tend to be non-native plants. These are plants that come from other countries. They've made it to Florida. They don't have their natural predators here, and so they're able to expand and create big infestations. So the majority of the vegetation that you would see on a lake like Lake Toho under the water is the aquatic weed Hydrilla. But there are a lot of native plants out there as well.
Okay, now you said they're growing where we don't want them, so that's one problem. What other problems do these weeds pose?
They pose a lot of problems. One is aesthetics. People don't like their open water lake to be full of these weeds. It looks more like a field. They're able to displace our native vegetation. Hydrilla grows so fast that it outcompetes a lot of our native vegetation. And this can affect the native plants and wildlife in our areas. It also causes problems for navigation and recreation. You said about the weeds getting caught in the boat propellers. This is a common problem. It makes it difficult to fish in some areas as well as get your boat through. They also cause flooding concerns. If there's a whole bunch of weeds in the system, it's hard to move water, and this can attribute to a lot of the flooding problems.
Okay, and we have had some flooding recently, so we want to definitely get this under control. So what is being done to manage the Hydrilla?
Well, the state has a management program that they do on public waters, and basically, depending on the situation, they would either do management once a year or several times a year. And in our chain of lakes, one of the main priorities is to get the weeds out of the system before all the rain so that we don't have flooding. But one thing that Osceola County is doing, we have a federal grant to try to find new solutions to control these weeds, new management techniques. Some of the things that we've used in the past, we're not able to use anymore. And so we're trying to find new solutions to manage our waters and get rid of these weeds.
And is there anything the public can do, especially people who are outdoors oriented and they are familiar with this problem? What can they do to support your efforts?
Well, the main thing they can do is be aware of the problem. We do have an informational website that I think you'll put up on the screen. They can go here and find information all about these aquatic weeds, how to identify them, and the problems they cause. Being aware of what weeds these are, they can also make sure to remove them from their fishing equipment, from their propellers, from their trailer before they leave the system, because that is how they spread to new waterways. Is just a little fragment of the plant can create a whole new population. So if the folks know what these plants look like, know of the situation, and avoid transporting them to other areas, that will really help out.
Excellent. Well, we need everyone to pitch in and do their part to help solve this growing problem, literally. Yes. And you've given us a great insight into Hydrilla and what the county is doing to try and manage its growth. And we want the folks at home to pay attention and see what they can do to play their part. Well, thank you, Stacia Hetrick. Come back and see us.
I would love to. Thank you.